So Christian, obviously you know your mom's story. You know what she's been to, and throughout the rest of this conversation, after you jump, we're gonna really dive into just her as a mother and a parent, and watching you and your brothers go through this. But just give our listeners a little look into what your youth childhood was like. 4 boys, parents that were athletes. Your father obviously is a professional football player, winning Super Bowls. Your mother, we just talked. Like, give us a little sense. Was sports just ingrained in what you guys did? Were you pushed to do it? Or was it just something you and your brothers just naturally found yourselves taking up?
Yeah, well, first off, I'll brag about my mom's athletic career too, because she didn't talk about how good she was, but she was, a star.
Yeah.
That was back when Mia Hamm and all those girls were playing. And, she was right there, with those. I think she had like 54 goals her senior year. So,
humble brag. We call those humble brags.
Sometimes you got to let them know. But she doesn't.
I like to score because sometimes when I'd score, they'd let me like sit the bench and have a little break for a while, and I was kind of lazy, so it's like, hey, if I score, maybe they'll take me out for a few minutes.
I find that hard to believe.
That
hard to believe.
No, but growing up was it was great. I don't know if I ever realized how great my parents were, because it was kind of just the standard. I know they always wanted us to excel academically. That was something that was extremely important to them. All 3 of my brothers and myself, we never needed someone to push us to enjoy sports. I don't know if that was just, genetic, or it was built in us from a young age, or watching my dad play when we were young. We always wanted to play. I remember just watching my older brother play when he was 8 and I was 6. And in Colorado, tackle football started at 7 years old. And I just remember I wanted to be like him so much. And we would throw my dad's pads on, and we would play in anything that we could ever do, whether it was 2-on-2 basketball, whether it was like knee football. We'd go out in the snow and play crush the carrier. It was like we were always doing something, and I just wanted to play so bad. And so the moment that I started to play football at 7 years old, I loved it. But the same was basketball, the same was baseball and track. And growing up, I did all sports. I just wanted to do something. I wanted to play in the NFL. And then when basketball season rolled around, I wanted to play in the NBA. When baseball season ran around, I wanted to play, professional baseball, and ran track and did all of it. I played 3 sports all through my senior year. And that's one thing I was appreciative of my parents, is they always wanted us to, whatever we did, they wanted us to do it 100%. And that was, they encouraged playing multiple sports. They didn't, and that I recognize now that there's less of that going on, because, the sport world, the youth sport world now is so demanding on all year round for baseball and basketball and all these different sports. Well, I grew up in a great time where, my parents encouraged me to do multiple sports. So as soon as football season ended, we'd take maybe like 5 days off, and we'd go right into basketball season, and the same would go into track season. So, but whatever I was doing with my brothers. And I was just so fortunate to have 2 extremely committed parents to, giving us every opportunity we could to live out our dreams. And especially my mom, right? My dad, and you know how this is, Greg, but my dad played, I think my dad retired when I was 7 years old, or Max was 9. And so for all those years, my mom was did a lot of the work when it came to parenting, obviously. And that takes a lot. And just to see how she selflessly did that, how she supported him, and looking back, knowing how challenging that was, it's something that's remarkable. And like you said, she really is the star of the family.
Wow.
Well, we appreciate you popping in. I know you got a few things that you're running to, but when you heard, so just for the record, this interview was with Lisa. And then Christian found out that I was interviewing his mom, and he got super jealous, and he got super bent out of shape. So he's like, "Hey, can I come on?"
It's like begging.
So we rewrote the rundown to just like give him a chance to talk and make sure he got his fill. So we're gonna allow Christian now. He got his fix. We love you. You're amazing.
Greatest thing ever. You're so.
Why you didn't? I didn't give you enough love in the intro, or
the looking part, the one with the shirt off. Can you do that one more time?
I don't know if you guys have seen Christian. He was in a magazine. It's a small publication. It's called GQ. Is that what they call it?
You don't have to talk about that one. I just mean in general, right? Like at the pool or something.
No.
Let's talk about that GQ spread.
You said we have to hang out. Hold on.
I've stood in many hot tubs with Christian McCaffrey with our shirts off. I'm just going to give a quick public service announcement. You don't want to, in November, when the season's getting long and you're a little bit of an older player and you're not quite in the best shape because, you got like a dad bod. You don't want to stand in the hot tub next to Christian McCaffrey just wearing tub shorts. If anyone out there is considering it, don't do it.
But how good were our Adele songs, though?
Can you give everyone a little bit of a taste?
No.
Is that's special? Yeah, it's special. Yeah, it's special. We got to keep that in the locker room. But I would give, when people are like, what do you miss? I miss standing in the hot tub with you, with our shirts off, singing Adele before a game. And I'm not afraid to admit it. So